What's up, everybody? So, it's the opening day of gun season here in Southern Zone, New York. I'm hunting Bear Swamp State Forest today. The property I was going to hunt was kind of full, and decided that I'd come out here. And this is really good land. It's very vast. Not a lot of guys hunt it. There's some big deer in here. A lot of swamp, a lot of walking, and it's real thick. And you can see it's super thick. I got up a little bit late, and I slept in. I've been working 16 hours a day, so weekends are kind of my time to relax a little bit. But we're gonna see what happens. I got the Remington 308 strapped to my back, and I got my book bag filled with water, a little bit of food, supplies for the day. We're gonna give this a try. I don't like hunting state land, but like I said, this is a pretty good track of state land. Not a lot of guys hunt it. I did actually down here. I came across a gentleman. He hadn't seen much, but I'll tell you what, since daylight, there's been a lot of shooting in here. There's a lot of deer. It's a pretty good year. I had a really good bow season. My bow season was, I got a buck and a doe. I got custody of my daughter, so it was a hell of a good bow season. Hoping that the gun season is just as good. Okay. Quick update. About 200 yards down the hill, at a junction, it kind of made like a little S. I stopped for a minute, looking around the corner at the S, and I heard a noise behind me. I turned around, there was 3 does running up through the woods. I had the scope on one of them, but they were running, and I got the, I don't know if you can see that, I got the 308, and I just didn't feel comfortable shooting at running deer with the 308 in state land. I mean, I didn't know if there was someone behind the deer. It's real thick, you can't see too far. So, to keep it safe, I didn't shoot them, but I could have. 3 good-sized does. I have 2 doe tags, so freezer meat, but just not real keen on shooting running deer. Too much shit that can go wrong, and there's plenty more opportunities where they're not running. Your chances of wounding a deer go through the roof when they're running. Okay, so that guy got a real small button buck. Just a little nub horn, real small. But he said it was limping, like somebody else had shot it, so he put one in it and killed it. I don't think it weighed 50 pounds, but they all eat the same, I guess. I'm just walking deeper into the woods, headed south. Somebody's dragged a deer out here. I'm just walking in, and I mean, there's no bad spot to hunt in here, so anywhere's good. Just get your boots on the ground and do some walking. It's what time is it? It's 10 o'clock. A lot of the guys have emptied their guns and they're dragging their deer out. They're gutting their deer. The guys that haven't got a deer are headed back to their trucks. go home and get some lunch, get warm. It's warmed up a little bit, but it's still bitter cold. We'll just keep walking and see if we run into anything. Or maybe somebody else will kick something to us. There's a guy over there. It's one thing when you're hunting state lands. Always keep a lookout and always know where other people are. That figures. Second time that's happened. God, I've been walking this wash. The loggers have made this kind of wash in here. It doesn't look like, maybe it was a logging road that they've reclaimed. But that guy never came over. I didn't go over to him. He kind of stayed over there, about 50 yards from me. I knew what he was doing. He was using me as an advantage. Anything that runs out of here is going to run by him. But in the same sense, I was using him to my advantage. We knew what we were doing. I got stuck in the mud up there, and he kind of got ahead of me up here. But I know where he is. He's up in that direction. So, I just have to remember, don't fire in that direction. Here's some deer tracks. Pretty decent sized ones. Headed in that direction. But, it's one thing about state lands is, you can use other people to your advantage. If it's a real cold day, dress warmer. A lot of guys won't think of that. They'll have the hunting clothes that they've wore for the last 80 years, and they'll wear those, and they're stuck on that. Well, then they come out here and it's 10 degrees out, and they sit for an hour and they get cold. Well, then they get up and they start walking around. Use that to your advantage. Once they start walking around, they start moving deer. Yeah, there he is. He's down there. I think I'm getting closer to the road. But, you know, use that because it is an advantage. If you can dress warmer than the next guy and stay there a little bit longer and not move, you got it made. You've got a deer drive or a push, you know, pushing deer around. And I know that's how a lot of guys do it. That's how I've done it on state land for a long time. If I know it's going to be real cold, I know other guys won't be prepared, but I am. I don't have expensive equipment, but I know how to dress warmer. Oh, that was a gunshot. I gotta get out of this mud. Yeah, we'll get into these saplings in this brush. Do some stomping around, see what we see. It's hard to hold a phone and video and watch for deer and pull my gun at the same time, so I'll get back with you. Well, we made it back to the road. The truck's about a mile away, so we got a hike, but it's been a good morning. Saw 3 deer. So far I've seen 2 dead ones and a gut pile. I was walking down this road. I just come out of the woods and there was a couple guys standing there. Had their trucks standing at the back end of the trucks, and I asked him if they'd seen anything. The guy was pretty disappointed. He shot the smallest deer he's ever shot in his life. I personally, I don't care how big they are. I prefer not to shoot the small ones, but a lot of people do. You know, they get killed, and it happens. He was pretty disappointed in himself, but they look a lot bigger on the hoof. He opened his tailgate, and honest to God, I should have got it on video or taken a picture of it. It was a fawn, young doe. I don't think she was 3 months old. She was barely out of spots. Probably, if I had to guess, 45 pounds. I don't think she was 50. Little tiny deer. But he comes down from up north every year. Comes down this way and hunts open and weak. And goes back up, hunts the Adirondacks. So, I mean, at least he had some luck. He's bringing home some meat. I got nothing against that. All in all, it's been a good morning. Couldn't believe when he dropped that tailgate. Jesus. That poor little thing. It happens, though. Guys get excited. He says 4 came through, and he ended up wasn't ready. And his gun was a few feet away from him, so he ran over, grabbed his gun, and says that this little one was the last one to run through, and he popped it. It is 11:19. Just about the right time to head out of the woods and go home, grab something to eat. I don't live very far from here. I only live about 15 minutes down the road. So get out of here, get something to eat, get warmed up, play with the kids for a little bit. I haven't seen them in a while. I've been working 16-hour shifts, and it's draining on me, but with the economy the way it is and everything going south and the prices of everything going north, everything's going to get harder and harder and harder. So I've been putting in the time while I can right now and stashing the money away. We heat with fuel oil, so this winter is going to be pretty devastating on a lot of people, and I don't want one of those people to be me with kids in the house, and so I'm sacrificing my time with my kids to earn extra money so we can make it through the winter. Got 2 deer with my bow, so we got those in the freezer. My brother gave me one, so 3 deer in the freezer. If I get a couple more with the rifle, I'd be a pretty happy guy. That'd be enough to get us through the winter, at least. And when steaks are $85 for a strip, I'll be eating deer steaks. Where the hell did I put my keys? Here we go. Got the old buckhorn in there. That was a giant shed that I found. Stuffed it up in my dash. Real nice buck. A lot of mass. Found him on the co-op in the area that I hunt, so tomorrow maybe we'll find something like that. Alright. Signing out for the morning, and I'll be back for the afternoon. Alright. So we just left the old Chevy. Got my daughter Abigail hunting with us. We are in a different spot. We're down the road a little ways. If we walk this trail up, I don't know, it's got to be 3/4 of a mile. There's on the left-hand side. This morning I was talking about a swamp. I never made it to that. I kind of went the other direction and hunted an area I've never hunted before. But tonight we're going to go to that swamp. It almost looks like a scrape, but we're gonna hike this trail up. I got it marked on my phone, so there is like almost nobody here. We've seen just 5 cars on the way in. Nobody on this side, and this was the side of the woods that I didn't hear any shooting this morning. Most of the shooting came from that direction. We're going to be hunting over here, hoping that maybe they push the deer over into this area. I did see on my way out this morning, jumped in the truck and took off up through the state land, and I was almost out of the state land when I ran across a truck that had a monster buck in it. Looked to be 8 or 9 point that had some serious mass on it. Real wide, real tall, real nice buck. I knew they were in here, but somebody had real good luck this morning. So hopefully we have some real good luck this afternoon. But when we get to our spot, I'll update everybody and show you around. There's a blue jay. Show you around where we're going to be hunting. Okay. So we're at our secret spot. So what we've got here is a big swamp behind us. It's all wet. Real thick. You can see there's a lot of dead trees. There's a big swamp back there. It's real thick in here, but we've got a deer trail right here. It goes out, and I can shoot for about 50 yards that way, about 80 yards this way, about, I don't know, 50 yards this way. and it's one big apple orchard in here. It's got to be like 2 acres. It's just a huge apple orchard. The wind's blowing the right direction because all the deer seem to be coming from that direction, headed this way. So, and I know there's more hunters further out that way, so maybe they'll spook them into this apple orchard. It's real thick, but I got some good shot opportunities in here, and we can also shoot over here if we got to. It'd be pretty hard to thread a bullet through there, but I think I can do it. I'm gonna snap off some of these twigs so I can get a clear shot down there. That's where we came from, was down here and around and way over there. We walked down in and then came up this way. There's a deer trail that goes through there, a pretty good sized one. I mean, that deer trail right there's pretty good size, but that one down there was huge. Had a lot of deer scat in it, a lot of tracks, all pretty fresh. There's a scrape over there, and if you look right here, there's a rub. They can't come from behind us because, I mean, they could if they wanted to, but I wouldn't want to go through that. It's really thick. So we're in a good spot. I'm kind of hoping that we get to see some action. No little ones. I ain't shooting no damn baby like the other guys. That's just stupid. But I know there's good bucks in here. So what?
I heard a thump.
What?
I heard a thud or a stick break that way.
Yeah.
That direction.
Yeah, Abby thinks she heard a stick break, so. It's a good spot. We saw a hiker coming in, and on the trail, they had a dog with her, and the dog had goggles on. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. A dog with ski goggles on. They said it was because the dog gets brush in her eyes. So the vet said to make her wear goggles. It seemed like the dog actually enjoyed it. We got the American flag 308 again. Hopefully it barks tonight. The wind's blowing pretty good, so. Last year I was in this area and up in that swamp. There's some really, really massive rubs and, big scrapes and just all tore up. But somebody had already claimed it for themselves. They already had a tree stand there and a trail camera. So I didn't mess with it, I'm pretty respectful. It's somebody else's spot, so we're gonna hunt just down from that. We're only about 100 yards from it. We'll see what happens. I think I'm gonna take a bite of my sandwich. And there's really nowhere to sit down here because it's all wet. We're right on the backside of the swamp where all this shit runs out. So we're gonna have to stand here, but it's 3:20. I hope everyone's having a good first day. Be safe.